Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Stories from the Studio, and we've got a really special one for you today. We're coming from the home of Jenny Bott. Thank you for having us here. Jenny has an AO for contribution to culture, arts and culture. Extraordinary career you've had, Jenny, at some of across the entire nation in leadership roles at places such as Australia Council, NIDA, and of course at the Bundanong Trust as well. So lovely to be sitting here in your house. I can see a lot of art.
Yes.
Would you like to share one of your favourite pieces with us?
Absolutely. Well, this work has great significance for me for many reasons. It was my thank you gift from the Australia Council when I left after 8 years there. But it's most importantly the work of Gulumbu Yunupingu, who is a wonderful artist who painted the universe, the stars of the universe, in many of her works. And she was one of 8 Indigenous artists that we took to Paris to embed their work in the Musée de Quai Branly. This was in recognition by the director of the museum of the fact that Australian Indigenous culture is the oldest continuing culture in the world. And they wanted to reflect that not just in the collection, but in the actual building itself. And it was incredibly special to me to think that generations from now, people will be walking up Rue l'Université in Paris and see Australian Indigenous art on the ceilings, in the concrete, in the glass of the building. And it's, I think, a fitting recognition for me that one of these works was by this wonderful woman, Gulumbu, who had such grace and charm and such insight as a person and in all of the art that she did. So it's one of my favourite pieces in the house.
So over a lifetime of work with such extraordinary contributions and art projects, is there one just here and now that you see as something you're particularly proud of?
Well, it's quite a list.
Yeah,
actually.
it's quite a list.
Really hard to choose one, can I say? But probably it would be my time with NIDA. NIDA is such a special organisation that, and I was very excited and a bit daunted at being asked to join the board, and I became chair. But I then had this extra special experience of actually being executive chair and CEO at the end, and it's hard to really describe the feeling that I used to have every morning walking through that foyer with excited students and teachers rushing from one corner to the other, and just there's something about being around talented, creative people that just rubs off, I must say. I felt it was an incredibly exciting period, but also what I felt so lucky and so honoured to actually be in that role. And so I suppose it's got a special place, that 6 years with NIDA, but particularly that last year.
And look, as we look back at all the extraordinary things, there's also lots of interesting things in your future. What are some of the projects you're working on now?
Well, I was going to say, it's just as well you asked me now and not a year from now, because I'm the chair of Bundanong.
Yes.
And in November, we're going to be opening our new museum and the bridge, as we call it, which is a wonderful space for
it's extraordinary
achievement. And it's so exciting to see Arthur and Yvonne Boyd's mission and vision, which seemed so fanciful, I suppose, for want of a better word, and it's happening.
It's happening.
With the great support of, the federal and state government and philanthropy. We are going to have on our doorstep here in the Southern Highlands the most beautiful, stunning, not only building but place, which was Arthur's great passion. Landscape, Indigenous culture, a place to be creative, a place to think and grow, a place for science and the arts, and it's happening, and it's something I think that will be so meaningful to people locally, in the Shoalhaven and the Illawarra and the Highlands, statewide, nationally and internationally. I don't think there's anything like it anywhere, and it's just incredibly exciting to play just a little role in making that happen.
I think international is absolutely the right ticket in terms of the name that it is attached to, the legacy that has continued to evolve due to people like yourself as well. I can't wait for it to open. I'll be there.
Yes. Well, as you know, we have artists in residence there, about 300 artists a year, and so it actually really influences the art that's being made in all different art forms all over Australia and the world. And I think that kind of legacy will only grow, frankly, as a result of the new Bundanon, as we're calling it, even though the old was pretty good too.
The old was pretty good. It just keeps getting better. Well, look, Jenny, thank you so much for having us in your home tonight and your generosity. It's wonderful to have you in the Wingecarribee community and as part of our wonderful arts and culture scene here. And thank you for having us today. Thanks for being the Stories of the Studio star.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.